Come on over, let's pick up where we left off. You and I had lots of love just to top it off. We can wind it down for days, never let it stop. I just want your everything, baby. Maybe later we can dance, never let go. Listen to our favorite songs on the radio. Losing up and lose ourselves to this feeling, oh. I just want your everything, baby. I'll be deep under your influence tonight. Ooh, keep it coming, babe. I don't mind another round. Drinking from your bottle, baby. Calling it wasted love, wasted love. I can't get enough of my baby. I'ma be wasted love, wasted love. I'm spilling liquor on the carpet, on the couch. I feel it dripping from my mouth. Drinking from your bottle, baby. Calling it wasted love, wasted love. Moon is rising and the stars are coming out. But we miss it cause we're way down on the ground. Ain't nobody interrupting if we decide. I just need a night with you, baby. Yeah. Then we be blinded by the lights, oh. We get this feeling, oh, so right, oh. I'm so over being sober, you're all I know. I just need a night with you. Drinking from your bottle, baby. Calling it wasted love, wasted love. I can't get enough of my baby. I'ma be wasted love, wasted love. I'm spilling liquor on the carpet, on the couch. I feel it dripping from my mouth. Drinking from your bottle, baby. Calling it wasted love, wasted love. I'll be deep under your influence tonight. Ooh, keep it coming, babe. I don't mind another round. Drinking from your bottle, baby. Calling it wasted love, wasted love. I can't get enough of my baby. I'ma be wasted love, wasted love. I'm spilling liquor on the carpet, on the couch. I feel it dripping from my
Lights off, transparency on. Late night marriage with the riches. Late night marriage with the riches. You need that real talk, this is what you want. Lights off, transparency on. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Late Night Marriage with the Riches. I am Damon Rich.
I am Tamika Rich.
And welcome to
Welcome.
tonight. Listen, tonight is special.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight is our last episode ever of Late Night Marriage with the Riches.
Okay.
We will not do any more Late Night Marriage with the Riches after tonight. And this is different. It's see you later, not goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not this is our last episode of the 2024. We'll see you in 2025 with a brand new episode of Late Night Marriage with the Riches. No. Late Night Marriage with the Riches is a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. It's over.
Its season is
It's finito. It's done, right? And so we're gonna have a good time tonight. We have special guests that's going to join us. Couple that's been on before. We had another couple. They had something come up. They're near and dear to us as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll probably see them collabing with us on some other stuff in the future. But we are super excited tonight. We are going to have with us tonight the fan president of the Mary J. Blige fan club, and his beautiful wife, Dr. Broxton, will be joining us on tonight here shortly, letting them get a little something together. I see them in the green room, and we're gonna get them on with us. But
Mm-hmm.
this has been a ride.
It
This has
has.
been a ride. With late night marriage, it's been some start and some stop, some coming and going. We are going to still be coaching marriages. We are still going to be giving marriages the information that you need to get better, but we're going to be doing so much more than that. Your
Mm-hmm.
life is so much more than just your marriage.
Right.
If you have been rocking with Late Night Marriage with the Riches, you have subscribed to the YouTube channel. We thank you. We appreciate you. Stay
Yes.
locked in, stay subscribed. We're going to be doing some new stuff. But we are super excited to just move into this next chapter in
Mm-hmm.
2025. We will be back sometime in January with a brand new flavor. You probably already been seeing a little bit of it. We've
Mm-hmm.
talked about it a little bit,
We
but
have.
we're gonna make it official tonight to kind of tell you what's really coming out the gate in 2025. But as soon as I see the president give me the thumbs up that they ready to go, then we're gonna be bringing them up. But until then, I'm just talk. I'm
Yep.
just talk. Man, that other camera was rocking. I don't know what you was doing, and then you flipped it the other way. Then the other. I'm talking all in the green room. Y'all don't see this back there, but
Right. I want to say it's been a really great year, though.
it is.
It's, I mean, blink and it's gone by. 24 has gone by so fast, but it's been a great year. We
Yeah,
got quite a bit done. Had some episodes, some guests on.
yeah, yeah,
So I think it's been it went well.
yeah, yeah. We
Hmm.
we really we did. Um, Shout out to consistency this year.
Mm,
Because it, man, y'all don't understand. Putting out content, trying to impact people, being a help to people,
right. On
man,
top of everything else you do,
everything else
it's
you
a
do,
job.
it's a job. Like I happen to go look at my 2024 goals,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, you know what? Fortunately,
Hmm.
I actually knocked out one of my goals, and I knocked it out in the month that I said I was gonna knock it out
Hey.
in, and I can't even take credit for it. That is 100% God all the way.
Right.
Like
True.
when I tell you what the goal was, it'll be like what? And it lined up because I wrote it down,
Hmm.
and it just happened
Right
at the
vision.
time that I declared it.
Hmm.
I wish I'd have hit some of my other goals. We're gonna talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
One of those was to lose 50 pounds. I didn't do that. That didn't happen.
And I didn't lose the 15 either or 20,
Yeah, that didn't
but I
happen.
digress. No.
Yeah,
Next year is coming.
yeah.
And
Next
so
year is coming for sure, for
I can't
sure.
wait for our family retreat that we do at the end of the year,
Yeah,
for us just to go over our goals
yeah,
and talk about what we did accomplish, what we having, and what we're going to take into the next year or new year, and what we feel like we don't necessarily need going into the new year.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited about that.
I'm ready to trim the fat, and
Hmm.
I am super excited. Both of us dropping books before
Hmm.
the end of the year.
Yes,
Your
so that was
book is
definitely on
out
the
there.
list.
The pre order is
Hmm.
out there. The let patience having her
Perfect
perfect
work.
work. The 30-day devotional by Miss Tamika Rich Styles.
And it's not just a devotional, it's a devotional and workbook. So there are writing pages in there for you to write along with the reading.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And I am dropping a new book. I'm going to drop it right at the end of the year. Pre order is going to go out on tomorrow, but it is Things We Forgot Along the Way, Echoes of Wisdom. And yeah, we got that. Miss the President, we ready? We ready? All right. The
Okay.
president say we ready. Listen, we're gonna bring back
We're
to the
excited.
front. Super excited. A couple that has been rocking with us for a while. They have
From day
been
one.
definitely have been with us for a minute from day one. Let me get y'all all adjusted here, cause I got y'all like way. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Bring the Broxtons up close. Can y'all hear us?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect. Hey, so we're bringing the Broxtons back with us. It is the president. He is the longest serving president of the Mary J. Blige fan club
It's
in
gonna always give you that
history.
heart.
He loves to swim on a donut. You know, all that stuff. His wife is fearless. She is fearless. I ain't gonna drag my
Uh,
boy too bad. He already had a bad football season this year, but we are so thankful for you guys. Thankful for your friendship, your support. And as we're going out, y'all were actually, I think, one of the first guests this year on Late Night Marriage with the Riches, and we wanted to close it out with a couple of different guests, and one had to drop as we pray for them, and you know their ability to definitely will connect with them on a different time or what have you. But how have y'all been doing? Y'all been a whirlwind of a year. Y'all got somebody getting ready to go to a better team than the team that played in Tallahassee. So how's it going?
It's going good. But yeah, we are Commodores. Commodores now, so we switching up. Going from the garnet to gold to the black and gold. So uh we doing pretty good though.
awesome, awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations
So
on
y'all
that.
gonna be doing some traveling next football season.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Already been doing some traveling. You
Mhm.
got your oldest son plays down south, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Plays in
He
Miami.
he and he played for what?
He plays in Miami, not for
Oh,
Miami.
oh, oh, okay.
I was about to say, do
The you that recruited him. Go ahead. Yeah,
He
nah,
plays for a
but
small school down at St. Thomas University.
okay, okay, that's what's up. So athletic parents, you guys have a lot going on. Let me switch this thing up so hear you a little better. But just man, we this has been a ride for us this year as far as late night marriage, all the stuff that we're doing, where we're going, and what we have next. But we wanted to kind of close the year out just talking about marriage in a meaningful way. Remind the
Mhm.
people how long the Broxtons have been in the marriage game. How long y'all been doing this?
24 years.
24 years. All right. 24 years. We got y'all by two. We got I think 26, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
26. Yeah, we got y'all by two.
You said, right? Hold on. Wait a minute.
And I don't know, man. It seems like a long time, but it's so much further to go. With doing marriage and doing this thing, and you guys have told us about
Mhm.
your journey to the altar and those type of things before. What in 24 years, if you could go back and talk to your first year self, what would you tell your first year self looking back? Like what would you tell Sean? What would you say, um, Carol, to your first year bride self, your first year husband self? I want to hear from both of y'all on that. What would you say to
I'll let her go first.
Okay, what I would say is don't look for perfection.
mm,
Just come bring your whole self
Mhm.
and be open to change,
mm,
open to challenges, and just have a positive mindset that you want to be married, you want to have a successful marriage, but that doesn't mean perfect marriage. So
Mhm.
mm,
that would be the advice that I would give, because sometimes you go into it expecting perfection. You compare yourself to others, or just different things like that. You have to go in with an open mind that you're not perfect, your spouse not perfect, but you have committed to God in that person, that what we want to do this, we're committed to this, and it's not about perfection, but like being perfected over time. So
mm-hmm.
your expectations, have an open mind and reasonable expectations. Not that that person is perfect, but that person is in the fight with you
Right,
and will fight.
right. I like that. I
Mm-hmm.
like that a
That's good.
lot. I like that a lot. What would you say, Sean? What are you telling your first year husband you sitting down having that conversation with him?
I would tell them to be prepared. Uh, make sure that you're prepared to change from the single life to the marriage life. Because some things that wasn't prepared for, uh, and get more knowledge of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes we jump into marriage thinking it's just going to be the honeymoon every day and all that type of stuff. So, but I think being prepared and having knowledge of what marriage is, sometimes you're going to have to give up some things, and be able to change also. So
Mm-hmm.
I would think I tell myself to be prepared.
Right. No, and that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. When it comes down to it, like it's like being prepared, understanding
Mm-hmm.
that it's not perfection, because I do think that we go into marriage looking for the perfect marriage,
Right.
that we want to be perfect. So
Mm-hmm.
what would you go and tell your first year self?
I would say make sure you have good counsel and mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's done some years before that's really committed to marriage, that they're believers,
Mm-hmm.
um, followers of Christ, and that's where you probably would get the best advice. Again, no expectations. I would say, again, like Michelle said, bring your whole self, being honest and truthful no matter what it is,
Mm-hmm.
being more open and vulnerable, knowing that it doesn't take anything away from who you are, and work on yourself in your healing journey right off the bat. If you're already working on it, that's amazing, but continue to work on it and communicate about it with your spouse so they know where, or he knows where I am, and vice versa,
Mm-hmm.
because I think you get more compassion and grace
Mm-hmm.
that way, to just be honest, like where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. So let me answer that. Hey, how you doing, Elder? Good evening, good evening. You know what I would tell my first year, sir?
Hello.
Ninja, don't change nothing. We doing great. We are doing phenomenal, dude. Don't hey, listen, just do what you're doing.
Oh,
We fine. We gonna be rocking this thing out. You know what I'm saying? We got this locked down. You walked into this no.
is that right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, bro. Don't change nothing. No, I would say, um, the thing that I would tell my first year self is be aware of your blind spots. Be aware of your blind spots. There are some blind spots that you don't realize you have that were created before you ever met this woman. And you need to be aware of those blind spots, because those blind spots could potentially cause you to make decisions
Mm,
that are not good for you as an individual, and definitely not good for your marriage. So be aware of your blind spots.
true.
I think it's what I would tell them. So, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So here's my next question. I think we done asked y'all this before, but we're gonna ask it again, see if it done changed up. Um, you're making a soundtrack for your marriage. You're
Yep.
in your 70s. Y'all are 20 years removed, so now y'all 46 years in. And you say, you know what? I want to make a soundtrack that encapsulates our time together so far. Give me two tracks that's got to be on there. Two tracks that's gotta make the cut of the album. The Michelle and Virgis Broxton album soundtrack. Two songs that's gotta make the cut.
So tell
Well,
me
I
what
got
I'm
one, you get one.
okay.
Uh, it's a song that by Tamia called "Still."
Okay. Okay.
That's
All
the
right.
first one. So
That's personal. Did you say personal? Because I want to know why. Why steal? Why that song? Ah.
no, but the
What's the
song
lyrics?
the song says
We see.
we still run around like teenagers even though we're grown and married with kids.
We
Still
see.
talk on the phone whenever we're away. Sends flowers and something every single day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh
But
huh.
yeah,
We still.
we still here, still married. So that's it. That's what we still.
Okay. Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. Okay.
I gotta go.
Michelle.
I don't know. I can't remember the name. The one about September. You know what I'm talking about?
This one's for me and you,
Oh, this one is me for me. Yeah. Yeah.
my
Okay.
new edition.
By New Edition.
You want,
Okay.
you want.
Because it talks about standing the test of times, and it talks about September because we actually did get married in September.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
it kind of worked out that way, but it just talks a lot about that we made it through the tests, through the trials, through everything, you know. So it's
Okay.
really simple.
Okay. Okay. Honey, what you got? What you got?
Is it Hezekiah Walker? We made it. We survived. We made
That
it.
that would
We
be that would
survived.
be a hold on. Go ahead. There it is. Yeah. That's what that would be. Yeah, 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 yeah. That
Oh,
that's it? That's your song?
for right now, no, I
Ain't
can't
no
think. I'm starting to think. Go ahead. Give me
yeah.
your song.
Okay. So
You know I'm churchy.
my
No.
song is Ozzy and Ruby, from the
Mm.
Show Baraka and Vanessa Hill marriage album. If you have not listened to that album is marriage counseling in an entire CD. Just like if you just listen to it, listen to all the interludes in between some it's like the whole album is there. But Ozzy and Ruby is basically about them setting like having the right role models for marriage, right? And and vibing together. So a lot of people like to say, "This is my ride or die chick." Nah, forget that riding and dying stuff. I want to do the riding and living. So she my ride and live chick. We that ride and dying stuff is for the birds. Um, we are not Bonnie and Clyde. I'm Ozzy and Ruby. So it's about like this the longevity because they talk about the longevity of Ozzy and Ruby's marriage. Well, it's that longevity. Um, and I'm real big on this. I don't want to I discourage couples. A lot of couples celebrate the number of years and overlook the quality or
Mm-hmm.
lack thereof of those years. I mean, imagine having a car that only worked 2 days out the year. It ain't gonna matter if it is a car for 365 days a year. Like you only work for 2 days out the year, you are
Right.
not a good car. And so when it comes down to a relationship, it's like one of the things I told Tamika in the early days, as long as we have more good days than bad, we're going to be okay. I don't care if we have 51 good and 49 bad, there's still hope. It's not until it switches the other way that I think it becomes problematic. Yeah. So, all right. You got a better song or that's your song? You sticking with it?
I do have a better one. It's not my song, but it's a better one because I like Anthony Hamilton. If you're cool, then I'm cool. Because
That
it talks about if you just chilling or doing whatever, you don't have to do, and you'll learn this in marriage. Big things or whatever. It's the small things that really, make a difference. Those tiny moments that really make you feel good. That are big moments to me. Just chilling and being cool. So if we in and I cook a meal and it's simple and nothing lavish or we don't have to go out get dressed up and all of the things if our money or budget is a little tight, we still good. So
Roman noodles and candlelight is still okay. Hey,
I don't
Roman
know, I don't
noodles
know
and
about
candlelight.
Roman noodles.
Yeah, Yeah, ramen noodles and kettle. When you first met me, girl, I used to put some hot pepper on them
You
doggone
now
ramen.
you did.
Nah,
You
it's
right.
shoot. Nah, ramen noodles
And
and
I'm only saying that now because they're not good for
no, they not good for us at
But
all. But every now and again, you got to bust off a pack of ramen noodles, you know. And so all those songs were positive, and I'm not going to ask anybody else to jump in on this, but something caught for me.
Mhm.
Those are the up songs. I definitely on my B side, I got some down songs. And this is not a song about love whatsoever, but it's a song by Thistle and Scarface. It's called Yesterday. They're not talking about anything romantic.
Mhm.
Um, but the song is there, the chorus of it is there's a better day than yesterday. And
Mhm.
it's the hold on, what's the chorus to it? Come on. I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I can't find it. But it's like, even though your heart is filled with pain, there's a
Mhm.
better day than yesterday.
Mhm.
And so though just that song, that lyric, that chorus is like, we've had some days where I'm looking for that. had to find that day that was better than yesterday. And so that would definitely make the soundtrack. Like, I'm looking at yesterday. What did Mr. Coyle say? I think it was Mr. Coyle at our graduation. He said, it wasn't Mr. Coyle. It's somebody who did our graduation or whatever. But his saying always stuck with me. He said, "Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow never comes." Right. So, and as a reminder that you have to live in the present.
Mhm.
Like, yesterday is gone and tomorrow never comes. So you got to live in the present. So there's a better day than yesterday. That would be a song for sure. Yeah. So so
That's good.
I you guys have watched us, saw us grow, saw us do the thing. Do you have a favorite Damon and Tamika marriage refresh moment? Anything that you want to share with the people? What get, tell us what we can do better. Tell us what we've been doing right as we help couples. I'm putting you
well,
on the spot tonight.
I would say is well, what you could do better is never seen on live when
That's
you
for him, right?
record.
Or for the both of us.
Never seen.
Now I'm gonna sing a song, bro. Now I'm gonna sing a song. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh huh. Don't wanna make a scene.
There it is again, hurting me.
Hey,
Sound like
hey,
a uh, sound like a true hurricane.
hey, I guarantee you my singing sound better than the crying that was happening in y'all locker room this year. But anyway, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Uh,
But
but go
yeah,
ahead.
I mean, there was some great things. I think I can't remember what episode. It was like one of the very first ones. It's talking about communication and how you should, because we used to watch them and then take our walks and discuss them all the time. And it was one in particular, y'all was talking about communication
Hmm.
and how you should talk with one another. And that's what we usually kind of do. So we'll watch it and then we'll take our walks and just communicate with one another. And I think you had said something like your phrase was what was it? You said talk to
You understand?
understand. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Communicate that, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people, not just even in marriage, get wrong is we're usually talking to win
Mhm.
instead of
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
talking to resolve. And it's like, I want to resolve the issue. You're not my
Mhm.
enemy, but I
Mhm.
want to resolve the issue. The challenge that we have because we're humans is when I'm telling you something about you, you feel attacked. And really, I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just like giving you the real of what, where I'm at or what I'm thinking, and let's process that to get down to the issue
Hmm.
for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we appreciate that, Miss Broxton. You got anything to add there? I ain't letting you off
Yeah.
the hook. You like you
Oh,
gonna be
you know,
quiet a little bit over here. Like I know you will get crunk. I got video footage of you getting crunk. I got video footage from the live late night marriage with the Riches. I know you will get crunk, ma'am.
I was just patiently waiting for my turn. But
Okay.
okay. Um, what I like, what stands out to me about the podcast or what have you is your topics. You're very transparent and you're willing to take risks on certain topics that people kind of shy away from, and that's what people need to heal their marriages. If you stay on the surface, you'll never get to the root issues and the real problems. You'll just kind of have that surface talk. Marriage is good, or you have problems, but you're willing to have topics and discussions and be real with your answers. That no, every day you're not going to be happy in your marriage. Yes, you can get upset. Yes, you share with us when you've had hard times in your marriage. And that's what people need to hear because, on the outside looking in, when you go to church, everybody's smiling, they put their best foot forward, and everybody looks happy. Or when you're at work, and all you do is hear the good stuff. Or on social media, you just see all the good stuff and how great marriage is. But you have to get to the hard topics to actually help people and to make marriage better and to make marriage last because people are hurting, but they're hurting behind a smile, and you'll never
Yeah.
know it unless somebody say we have to talk about the hard stuff. And that's one thing you two have done for that's been a blessing to me and my husband is that you're willing to go there to have those hard topics, to take a risk and take a chance, because some people are like, oh, I don't want to say that because they may see me the wrong way, or they may walk away from the podcast with the wrong impression of us. And you've been very transparent and didn't care that what you may seem a different way, but I'm here to help somebody to save their marriage, to so that they can heal individually as well as a couple. And that's what you really brought to the table through the YouTube channels, the Instagrams, the social media, what have you. It's been really a blessing. I know if it's a blessing to me, it's a blessing to others to say, what, marriage isn't perfect, but you know what, I can make it, I can survive it. These are the tools and these experiences, and I'm not alone. People need to hear that I'm not
For
alone.
sure.
Yeah.
Marriage is not easy. It can be tough. I'm not alone, but I can make it with the right resources, with the right tools, and then being that example that what, we've been through hard times, but look, we've survived it. We've accomplished so much, and if you stay, there are wins. Yeah, you lose sometimes, but there are wins there. So that's what I've really take away from everything you all guys have done, all the topics you have done, and thank you for your consistency. That you keep going. I'm pretty sure you've been tired. I'm pretty sure you want to give up. I'm pretty sure you're very busy. But
Yeah.
I say to you, thank you, because even when people don't maybe comment or say anything, they're listening, and the
Yeah.
word is getting out, and those conversations are being had outside of. There are people I talk to, that I know about marriage that didn't, they did not pull up your, the website and listen in, but I shared what I heard and what I took away from what are you saying. So just because people might not got on that night, you have people out there advocating for you to say, hey, you need to go watch this episode. You know what I'm saying? So the
Yeah.
word is getting out. People are being reached. Hearts are being changed. People are being healed. So, you're doing a great work. You're doing a great work.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So,
Thank
Thank
you.
you. That's
That
encouraging.
means a lot. That means a lot. I ain't
Mhm.
gonna tear up like Bronson, but you know what I'm saying, that means a lot.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, because here's what people don't realize sometimes with us doing this.
Hmm.
There are times we go and we have a little counter here where it tells us like how many people are watching. And it's sometimes that thing stays at zero the entire show. And we're like, in the early going, you'd be like, do I want to continue to even do it because people ain't whatever? But then we always have to remind ourselves of what we're doing it for,
Hmm.
why we're doing it. Do we want high viewership? Absolutely. Because the more lives we can touch, the better. But at the same time, when it doesn't seem like the message is landing, you like, oh my goodness, maybe we're doing the wrong thing. Doubt can creep in or whatever. But some of our highest energy shows, there's been zero people watching. Like we were just in here having a good time with each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is like we high energy. I am cutting the absolute fool, because my wife is the conservative one. Um,
Sometimes.
uh, most of the time. And you sitting there and it's like I can see that little ticker and it's like, oh, it's zero, right? And it's like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying the heck out of this topic, and somebody will get it at some point. But it takes a lot to produce content. But for us, it's not just about producing the content. I want our knowledge to become someone else's wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes risk to do that because there are people. Um, we've even had comments where, because people don't know what it takes to produce, right? So they see it. I get compliments all the time. Oh, y'all show looks so nice and this and that. But to show up for it to look good,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a
Hmm.
lot of work and effort and behind the scenes. Like if I was to show people like what the behind the scenes looks like right now, you're like, what? But it takes a lot of effort to do all of that. So one
Mm-hmm.
night, this one lady, I had asked Tamika a question. As soon as she started talking, the lady like left a comment, and just like a man, he starts not paying her attention. Girl, I am over here switching cameras, responding to comments, engaging the audience. This is like a two-person show, but my wife don't do tech. So
No,
I
I
got to
don't.
do all of that. So you think that I'm being a typical man, ignoring my wife, and when it's time for her to talk, you know how much multitasking I do? Yes, I would love to just be so, oh yes, honey. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm doing so many things. Like I have a whole freaking control center right here to control different stuff and aspects of the show or whatever, and we're getting better at that. But I be like, I don't care. Them folks don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know
But
me.
I think, did you respond to her?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
responded. I sure
Yeah,
did.
he does.
Uh,
I don't. I've
I
just grown in life and over experience or whatever, and I think one is a distraction. One, people don't know you like that, and it can get uh, just make you angry, or your temperament go sideways. So it's like kind of, and I'm not saying every comment, but just ignoring some of the stuff where people really don't know what it takes or what's going on, because you got to remember, if they're not listening to it to gain something, or even went past that moment where he was doing whatever and listened to what was being said and got something out, then we already know that you have something going on with you. There's an issue, there's something a little deeper or whatever, or you just want to be offended. And I think a lot of times people in life, that's why I said early on, work on yourself and your healing process. That way you won't be offended by every little thing. And so people are so offended about everything. So hey, it's a them problem, not a you problem. And you have to handle it well with gloves sometimes, but some most of the time people just want to be offended, and so those are times where you just ignore it and keep going on with whatever you're talking about or what you're trying to get across the message.
Girl, I responded to her like a
Oh,
like
I
I
know you
responded to
did.
her like I responded to a Seminole talking trash about a bowl they didn't make it to. I sure did. I responded.
And we know you
I
did.
did. No, I was very polite. I said, "Oh, thank you for your comment, ma'am. However, this
Mhm,
two-person show over here, and I'm doing the tech behind the scenes. So
mhm,
bless your heart. I ain't hear nothing else from her. I
Hmm.
probably said a little more than that, but
right.
I probably said a little more than that. I'm sure I did. But as you notice, yeah, we slid the time up because we also
Mhm,
recognize, like, hey, we're getting more mature in age, and we need more time to wind down at night. That late night sound real cute
mhm.
when you're 20
Even
and
if we
30.
are late owls,
Yeah,
I
we
am.
are late night owls. Like we really would do like a 1 o'clock episode because one of us be up that time of night. I used to be. I try and go to bed, folks. I try and go to bed. Um, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So let me ask y'all this. So y'all have kids. Did y'all ever differ on parenting styles? And if so, how drastic was that? Like, I Sean looked like the teddy bear, but sometimes it flip flop, you know. But did y'all have like a vastly different approach to parenting, or was it the same?
Oh yeah, it was very different.
Okay.
I was so much. I think I was. I guess I was a teddy bear. I was kind of. I was kind of sent them to mama. They wanted. If she wanted discipline, I sent them to her. But I was so much. I guess. I guess I got so many whoopings when I was younger. I didn't want to whoop my children. I was like, nah, this is not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do my kids like that. I'm not gonna do them like that. So I think I took the soft approach, tried to be their friend and gentle parenting. But
Gentle parenting.
she,
Mhm.
yeah, I
Mhm.
think that was me. She was more like the Incredible Hulk. I
Now what
mean,
you
I
not gonna
remember
do?
one day we was in the car and we was driving and the kids was just all in the backseat just fussing and all kind of stuff and I was back there I was in the front I was like y'all quiet down and next thing you know she just turned around and just roared just sit down just turned into a whole different person and I was like I was she just oh, I mean and she was driving
What?
so
What?
no no
Oh, you
I
talking about
was
different time?
yeah
Oh, okay.
she was driving and had one hand on the wheel and one hand going in the back seat. So it was like crazy. So, but yeah, she's more the Credible Hook. I was the gentle giant.
So you say yeah, don't tell you like, all right, now listen, I'm trying to handle y'all jump. You want me to go get your mama? You want me to go? No, no, Dad. Can I go get your
Yeah,
mama? You know it's on, right?
yeah, that's how it was. Now, I had a voice. I had the voice,
Mm-hmm.
but the voice only came out when they made me mad,
Uh,
Mm.
okay, okay,
and that was kind of.
Mhm.
They don't make me mad too much because she get on them first. So
yeah.
But do you feel like since you did have the voice, that you had to say less to them? Like when you spoke, they know like, hey, this is dad speaking, and I better straighten
Certain.
up.
certain ones, like my baby girl, she was kind of like she felt like she was the one
Hmm.
that I can get anything out of dad. You know, he's not gonna scream. So
Mhm.
they always kind of got her to ask me for something. So
uh,
Okay.
uh,
I
I
hear
ain't
you.
screaming.
I hear you. I hear you.
And I
For
would,
me,
and I would. Oh,
no,
yeah.
go ahead.
I was, and I would add to that. I'm gonna start by saying our upbringings was so different. So he
Uh,
grew up with his mom and dad. So he had a stern dad and he had a gentle mom. Well, I grew up in a single parent home and my mom was stern. From the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, it was like no games be played. You know, she was very serious. My grandma was the same way. There were no nonsense kind of people. So that's all I knew. So whenever he would do gentle parenting, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, no, we
mm-hmm.
don't ask how you feel. Do what I say and do it now or else. You know, he was like, well, let's see how they feel. Let's talk to them. Let them express themselves. And I'm like, I don't care how you feel. When I say wash the dishes, you're gonna wash them. You're gonna wash them now, or consequences. You know, he was really big on that, but he felt that his parents he wanted to do it differently than what his parents. His dad was too hard or too stern. He wanted to be the kid's friend.
Hmm.
But as they got older, he realized that does not work. When they're younger, that'll work.
Yeah.
But as they get older, that does not work. And so, and of course, he was a nice and kind, sweet parent. And so the kids thought I was a little monster. And they was like, oh, we remember, they even talk about it now. Oh, when we was growing up, you was just so hard and so tough on us. But I was like, I want to make sure everybody was in line doing what they were supposed to be doing to stay focused and
Hmm.
motivated and make sure things get done and what have you. So, but the roles have changed a lot. Now we're dealing with adult children.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had that close relationship with them where I had the more stern relationship with them, and they really go to him and talk to him a lot, probably more open with him and talking to him in their adulthood or what have you. They talk to me as well, but with him, they really do have that close relationship or what have you. And sometimes I step back and let, especially with our boys, and have that conversation and that heart to heart, man to man conversation that they need to have, that, some things I don't understand or can relate to that he can. So
Mm-hmm.
Right.
that does, that I see that the roles have really reversed. Like I can step back now and let him lead or what have you with the kids, with our adult children, and making that transition. So that's nice. That's nice.
But she
Yeah,
still
no,
had the
he makes
hook in.
I do.
She still had the hook in her now.
some
I'll
things
stretch them
die
out.
hard.
Yes.
Some things die hard. And and I can definitely get that. Like my kids know that if I raise my voice, they done did too much. Cause I
Hmm.
done got to that place where it's like, when they hit their teenager, I'm like, I ain't raised my voice. If I raise my voice, it's a problem. Y'all y'all have crossed the line,
Mm-hmm.
and I listen to your mama try and tell y'all and ask you kindly. Now I'm fin to then it's like, and it irritate her a little bit. It's like, well, you said they do it. It's like, cause I don't say necessarily a lot, and I don't always um, you know, yell or raise my voice a lot. So when I do speak, it is it's a lot different. There was a study I read some years ago. I'd be interested to see the update, but I've read
Mm-hmm.
this probably about 10 years ago. It says children who have their fathers present have a better vocabulary than children who do not. And the reason they attributed it to that is because balanced, emotionally healthy fathers, so this isn't all fathers, tend to have more of a conversation than a mom who like, true. So we using a lot of words, right? But that father, he's gonna tend to have more of a conversation. You might still get that whooping, but he's gonna have more of a conversation. He's gonna probably have a sermon with you while he giving you the whooping. And mama just like go to town on you, and then get it done. And I think there's something to be said to that, in general, that it is. And I was having this conversation the other day, and I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Looking back, and I'll tell you the conversation after I ask the question. Looking back at the discipline you have meted out, and considering just being parents in the being your kids getting to watch and grow and see y'all's marriage and bloom, because they don't get to see everything, but they get to see some things. Do you feel there's anything that you need to apologize to your children for?
I would say for me, I can say yes. There were times, being stern with them, being strict with them, but there are times they do need look. They need to be raised with loving kindness, and not always the hammer. You got
Mm-hmm.
to do this and you got to do that. And at this time, sometimes you need to slow down and just enjoy your children, enjoy those moments versus, when, I had a lot of children. I was going to school, was always busy. We always had a strict schedule. We always had to do things by the book. And I would always be on them. Hey, you have to stay on track and do it this way. And push perfection somewhat and be the best at whatever you do, and kind of push them versus kind of sometimes they needed me to be more gentle, to be more soft, to be more understanding, and not just the tough mom all the time, because they got that a lot. But because I was trying to do so much, having the kids, trying to have school and have a career and have all those things going on, and sometimes being so busy, there were times I needed to slow down and give them my undivided attention and just be a gentle parent. And that's something I do have to say. There are times, and I've had conversations with some of my children that was like, oh, when you said this or when you did that, this is how it made me feel. And it's like, oh, that wasn't my intention to hurt your feelings or to make you feel bad or make you feel a certain kind of way at that moment. I was
Mm-hmm.
just trying to make sure everything was done by the T, by the book, and not realizing that, slow down, give them your undivided attention, and be the gentle parent. Sometimes they do need a gentle parent and not always the tough mom, the strong, tough mom that that's always trying to do it all. So
Mm-hmm.
Right.
those are some comments we have had to have, and yeah, apologize. Yep, I've had to apologize.
Gotcha. Sean?
I think for me, I think I was a little too gentle at times. And I would probably apologize to him for that. Because I think sometimes I don't want him, like I use for example, cutting the grass. I would be too gentle with my boys, is that they will get out there. I try to teach them how to cut the grass, and if they don't do it the way that I want them to do it, I just take it from them and do it myself. And I kind of feel like that would just kind of cripple them because they're gonna have a lawn one day, and they're
Right.
gonna have to know how to cut their own grass. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like that as I wasn't as patient with the teaching them how to do different things, because when they get out and get their own families, they're gonna have to teach their kids how to do it. So um,
Exactly.
that's what I would think I would apologize to them for.
Yeah. And see, for me, where this came from, that question, and then honey, I'll ask you if you,
Hmm.
from an apology perspective. I was having a conversation with my auntie the other day, and she was saying how she feel like every generation gets softer, right? Each generation gets softer, and I get it. But I always try and remind people that came before us, the generation that you're saying is getting softer, you raised them. You created the environment that they're living in. And I'm not even just talking about your house. So I'm talking about, if you were, I'm going to go extreme. If you were a parent who didn't vote, guess what? You didn't vote. You didn't help shape the society that is making the rules, that is influencing the way we can raise our kids. So
Hmm.
you help create the environment in which they live. And but what I was saying to my auntie is, it's not so much the whooping. It's not so, it's sometimes it was how it happened. It was, and I gave her a story about, like, one of my worst whoopings I can remember. My mom was whooping me, and I love my mom. And she's a great woman, and she taught me a lot. So this is definitely nothing to degrade her character or anything, but it's a reality. I was getting a whooping, and the belt buckle came loose and it struck me in my private parts. And I started screaming out, "Hey, it hit me! The buckle hit me in my private part." And her response was, "Good. You need to this and this and that." Now, why I was getting a whooping was I got suspended from school for cussing a teacher out. Now, I did not cuss the teacher. I cussed a little girl who had, a little white girl who had done something. She had pulled the volleyball net. We running around the gym, and three or four of the little white boys I'm playing with and chasing them. They go under the net, go under the net. She don't do nothing. It's not until I go under the net she pull it down and clothesline me. And then I
Mm.
chase her. She runs to the teacher. And as she's doing that, I'm calling her the B word. I called her several times. And then the teacher, like, "You called me the B word." So I got written up for cussing the teacher, but I never cussed the teacher. I told him, I cussed the girl. I did not cuss the teacher. No, you didn't. So you knew, if you grew up how we grew up, it didn't matter what an adult said, they were
Hmm.
right. And sometimes adults lied. And in that instance, I can still remember this lady's name to this day. Is that you lied, and you lied, and it scarred me in a way that I didn't realize until I went to therapy. How deeply that moment had scarred me, all because you lied on me. And I told my auntie, I said, it's not so much the whooping, it's all of the other stuff. You didn't care that you had potentially wounded me. I mean, metal belt buckle hit me in a sensitive part that could have damaged me from having kids, whatever. And you didn't care, and you didn't listen to me. You know your child. You should have known that I was not lying when I told you. And my mama used to tell me, "I can tell when you lying." She said, because when you lie, she said, you don't defend it. You don't really defend it.
Hmm.
She said, but when you telling me the truth, you will go to the mat to defend it, right? And so I'm going to the mat to defend it, and I'm confessing to something that I know is still gonna probably get me a whooping, but it's probably not gonna be as bad, right? And you're not listening to me. And so I said, sometimes with parents, you miss the point. You're not beating them to teach them a lesson. You're beating them to really just to punish them. So what did I learn after that? It's one of the reasons our prison systems have a high recidivism rate. They don't go to rehab them, they just go to make them worse. In the
Mm.
words of the
Mhm.
late great Tupac, prison ain't changed me, it made me worse. Why?
Mhm.
Why is that the case? So it's one of those situations where, so now guess what I am gonna do? I'm gonna lie more. Cause you ain't gonna believe me when I'm telling the truth. So for me, there definitely, and I was just having a very emotional conversation with my youngest son the other night, and I don't even know why I was so emotional while I was having it with him, but it's like I was apologizing to him, like I wish I would have spent more time. I wish I would have, shown gone fishing with you more and shown you little things that I was taught or whatever. And I feel like I failed him as a dad, right? Um, and that's like my me apologizing. I was telling him, I'm sorry. I feel like I failed you as a dad in those areas. But I want him to know he's never alone in this world. I'm always here, and even one day I'm gonna leave the earth, and when I leave the earth, just know my spirit is always here, you know, in God's spirit. So the most important thing I can do for you now is to teach you how to develop your own connection with God, because He'll always be here, even when I'm not. So yeah, honey.
Right. So, two things earlier when you first started talking about this, I was actually looking at something. Want to say it was on Threads. I think earlier today, when I opened it up, and it was a lady saying something about correcting the kid when they're 5 versus 15, because
Mm-hmm.
it's almost, and I forget how it went exactly, that's a little too late because they kind of are who they are, you know. And I just think that's so important. But the crazy thing was just the people in the comments, and she didn't say anything about spanking or beating, which we know, you spare the rod, you spoil the child. But just how they were like going off about beatings and whoopings, and doing kids like this and that. And I'm like, they missed the whole point,
Mm-hmm.
because that's not what she said. But you do have to train them up and correct them and let them know when something is wrong. As far as apologizing, yes, I apologize when conversations come up or something that um I didn't even realize in the moment maybe that had happened, or even if they didn't catch it, if I catch it, I go back and apologize for it, because I was like, oh, I said this, especially if we're in a really good conversation about something completely different. For example, me and Deshay, we were talking about worth and stuff like that, and then and ladies, and we were having a conversation from a group of ladies that we were with at the time. And so she was sharing something with me, and then I apologized because I was like, I was trying to force a particular thought or perception on you about something that was more from some unhealed or resolved issue in me, and not necessarily for you, or how we really lived at that particular time. And so I went back and apologized for that, and we ended up having a really good conversation. But even I was thinking back of how we were raised about worth and value as women, and particularly about having a husband or a man or something like that. So everything was usually centered around, oh, you need to know how to do this and you need to do this, or a man's not going to want you if you don't do this and look like this and be like this. And so that built, or that's what a lot of women built their worth on, based
Mm-hmm.
on how you were able to get a husband or a man and the things that you were supposed to do for him. And so we kind of talked about that. And so when I had the aha moment and realized that, I was like, oh, let me apologize, because I didn't do that completely. But some of the things I do remember that I might have said or done um, were from ways that I wanted her to present herself to be able to have a spouse or have something, or the way somebody else was going to look at her or perceive her,
Yeah.
far as the outward appearance. And so um that was one of the things. But yes, definitely apologizing for stuff. And here's the thing, a lot of times they're not going to see, or their perception is so different, or perspective is different as being young than us when we're parents. So those are conversations you have to go back and have, and ask them, hey, what is it that might have offended you or that you have issues for? And I tell mine all the time that they're going to need therapy regardless. I don't care how good we think we do as parents, because we all have flaws or whatever, or raise our children. that they're going to need to sit on someone's sofa or have counsel, therapy, coaching, whatever it is, and have the conversations about certain things. One, because they didn't see them the way we did, and two, when they do, which was the things our parents constantly said. What was it? When you get older, you'll see um, as you grow up.
Mhm.
And so some of the things we do see as adults now that we didn't necessarily understand when we were younger. And now we do. And it's like, oh, okay. And so same for them. They're not. Some things they just won't until they have these experiences in life, however they have them. But encouraging them to go and talk, even if they don't talk to us, make sure they talk to somebody to get those things off their chest.
Yeah, yeah, that's real talk.
Hmm.
I dumbest thing I ever said as a kid is I can't wait till I'm grown. Oh, these bills be billing,
Oh.
right? These
Mhm.
bills be billing for sure. So, um, guys, we really appreciate your time. We don't want to hold you much longer, but want to just get well. I'm two questions. Um, one is real easy. Which one is harder to parent to y'all, boys or girls?
I think it depends on what phase you're talking about. I think girls are easy younger, but as they get older, it gets harder. And boys, it's harder when they're young because they have a lot of energy and they will run and jump and wouldn't be still. But now when they, but as they got older, it's much easier. So I just think it's what phase or what stage of life they're in
Hmm.
Yeah,
determines. And of course, every child is different. So
yeah,
Total
That's true.
opposite. It was. I think the boys are easier when they're younger, harder when they get older.
yeah,
And the girls just all around. They just easy.
yeah.
Really? Girls are easy?
My
For,
Shay
for
and
me,
Shay's just been different, and it is each
Sis.
child is different. She's just been different. She's been easy the whole time. I will
Mm-hmm.
say that for the most part. Um, DJ has been super independent. Michael, because he wasn't in the house with us full time, is probably a little more challenging because he had different sets of rules from one house to the next, that we had to try and adjust to, and I always wanted him to feel at home, like this is your home too,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So, but I think like with the boys, what does potentially make them easier is you can probably be you have less fear about being stern with them. And now my boys, DJ, because his brother warned him, so DJ been relatively mild mannered and always have been for the most part. But Michael warned it because one time Michael got beside himself. Bro, I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, brought some gloves. We got to the house. I said, man, let's go to the backyard. And I said, I'm gonna put these on so I don't leave no marks. I said, come on, let's go. You want to make some? That boy took off running down the street. He took off running, and I'm like, you gotta come back. You gotta come back, bro. I'm gonna sit right here on this porch. You gotta come back. And he came back, and when he came back, he got close. I put him in a sleeper until he's just about out. And I let him. I said, I want you to understand something. Even if you ever beat me, I still win. Cause now you ain't gonna be able to sleep with both eyes closed. Cause I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm committed to this, bro. I'm going to win. And so them boys kind of get a different level of respect with you depending on how you handle them. I ain't trying to tussle with them to size them up because I ain't never want them to feel like, oh, I could get popped. You know what I'm saying? Then they might get caught. So I ain't even play wrestle like that. Whatever. I ain't gonna even let you test. I want you to always believe I'm stronger than you. And one day I can remember Michael was making a joke about something, like he came up beside me, like how much he left and all that. And I looked at him and I laughed and I said, son, I want you to know something. I say the tree is always bigger than the axe, but the tree is the one that always falls. Just want you to know that. Just want you to understand. And he looked at me and he kind of shrunk down a little bit. Like, I just want you to understand. You see this axe? This act small. You see that tree? Which one falls every time? That tree.
Hmm.
So
I think the boys, once they get a certain age too, and maybe even younger, that they kind of, for mom, they don't pay as much attention, or they feel like they can get away with more, or kind of sweet talk you, or do that little, boy thing that they do to get away with it. I think they learn that pretty early on.
yeah.
Yeah,
And my daughter, she had me wrapped around her finger so
for sure.
she can get still to this day. We was having a conversation and she said, I don't know if it's
Mm.
somebody she was talking to or something, and she was like, or her friends or something. And it's just like like the stuff that impressed them don't impress her. It's like it don't really impress me. It's like I got a dad who pretty much buys me whatever I want, and as she's saying that, I'm smiling and my wife looking at me. Tamika looking at me like rolling her
This
eyes.
is your.
It's like so it's a lot of stuff that don't impress her about a dude. And she's so easygoing. If a dude want to take her to a date with McDonald's, as long as it's French fries and hamburgers or chicken nuggets, there she cool. That ain't what she
Well,
gonna
not
always want.
McDonald's because of the
Yeah, not McDonald's, but Culver's. She cool.
Yeah.
Five
So
Guys.
Five Guys, yeah, kick it up a notch. Um,
I was gonna say this though, because I think about it. So the oldest, usually the older ones have a issue, and I don't know if your children have talked about it or whatever, being the oldest, because usually they're the first ones to experience you as parents, right? And so the younger ones experience you a little bit different. Have they had an issue or resentment far as going, oh, I didn't get this treatment,
Hmm.
or you didn't do this or that or whatever when I was younger? And is it something that they really hold on to, or have they let go or kind of understand? One, I don't think they truly understand till they get grown, but even sometimes grown kids still hold on to that.
Definitely. Yeah, my oldest daughter has expressed that a lot, that the younger children got away with a lot, and it's the thing that she couldn't get away with. So she definitely, they had conversations. So every time we had like a family gathering, they would compare. Well, we know who's the favorite. We know who got more than me. Even though the oldest child, I feel we've helped her more than any of the other children, but they'll be like, well, we know DJ is dad's favorite, and my youngest daughter, she got away with everything. So my oldest daughter, oh yeah, she talks about that a lot. She does. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that does come up in conversations. But yeah, but we try to express, like, don't forget how we helped you. I gotta have to remember, like, what about all the stuff
Hmm.
that we did to help you? Now don't forget about all that. But she definitely. But it's true that as we got older and dealing with the young kids, they wore us down. you
Right.
you
Real
get to a
talk,
point,
real talk.
you know, yeah, when you start dealing with those younger ones and as time start passing, like, you know what, I'm not even gonna stress myself with this younger set of kids. With my younger ones, I was like, you know what, no,
I,
Right.
Because the youngest boy, he's the baby boy.
Uh-huh.
He gets away with everything because
Yeah.
he is a true mama's boy.
yeah, that's true. He's
yeah,
a he's a mom.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I think that also that the kids probably don't appreciate or understand. A lot of times when we first start out, like when we first started out, and we had Michael, then Deshae came 2 years after that. We're making like maybe together maybe $40,000 a year, maybe
yeah,
together. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like
oh
our
yeah,
financial state changed a lot by the
yeah,
time DJ came along. There's a lot of things that we could do now, trips that
yeah,
we can go on now that we couldn't go on
Hmm.
when we had two younger kids and we were struggling and still trying to figure life out,
Hmm.
right?
yeah,
And I think sometimes they don't understand
Stand.
that aspect of it,
Hmm.
because
yeah,
they don't understand like all of the bills. Like one of the things we're gonna be doing in our family retreat is I'm getting ready to lay out all of the bills. Like, not I don't ever want my kids to feel like we hold that over their head, or oh, you did all this stuff for me, because sometimes kids hurt your feeling. I ain't asked you to do that or whatever,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. So we definitely ain't trying to have that conversation, but I want them to get a reality of what it takes. Because I think one
They're
time,
adults now.
yeah, they're adults. There was one time we were talking or something, and Tamika was talking about the mortgage check, and she said the amount, and I think it's Deshae. She's like, "Oh, okay, that's how much you pay for the year." No, ma'am, we pay that every month. That every month, like, yeah, that payment come around every month, baby,
Yes.
every month.
And I try to tell them all, from my niece or whoever I help raise or talk to as youngsters. Look, them 30 days roll around so fast.
Yeah,
I was like, that
yeah,
month goes really fast, and they see it now as they are becoming adults and are adults. Actually, for their little things or Hulu or subscriptions or whatever it is they want to pay for, then there's like, oh, and then just the cost of living is differently. So
yeah,
I think even a lot of kids these days live at home longer, and we don't, like, nudge them or push them out the nest like we necessarily were when we grew up.
yeah,
I don't know how that is for you guys, but
yeah.
Oh, we try to push them on out.
you
On out.
you ready for the empty nest, huh?
Yeah.
But
I-
they know. But if they want to be home, they know they can be home or what have you. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just so different. The cost of living is ridiculous. It's
It,
it's so it's so it's really unfair to them that they can't have a job and do all the things that we could have done or others could have done before. Is really unfair how
yeah,
you know
yeah.
yeah.
turned out.
It, it's crazy. I think my stepfather was on to something before he passed away when we had our house, and it was our first house, and it's on 2 acres. And he was serious about it. He was like, how about we sell the house here, and then y'all just let us get like a quarter acre in the back of the 2 acres, and we'll put a nice new double wide there, and we'll get one for your sister. And she, like, basically he wanted to just build a compound. Like, let's just go, and everybody kind of pool their resources together to a certain degree, within context. And I think he was on to something to a certain degree. And in reality,
Doing that.
I'm starting to see more people actually do that, where they are buying, like, 10 and 20 acres of land and building a tiny subdivision that's really just their
For
family.
family.
And it's so much easier because you can pool so many different resources together in order to kind of leverage. There's carpooling, there's all kind of things you can do. And with where we are at in this nation and in this world, if we
Mm-hmm.
believe that we're going to continue to be able to live life as usual, it's probably a no-go. And you have to figure out, like, how can you,
Mhm.
when you look at certain stuff, like about just growing your own vegetables and stuff like that. Yeah, it's time to get back to gardening. It's time, because every other day you pop up, oh, salmonella here, and they recalling this salad. And listen,
E. coli
yeah, E.
and
coli there. Just go on and get your own, raise your own lettuce, raise your own food to a certain degree, because things are just shifting. But that's a conversation for another day for sure. But to get you guys out of here, this is the last ever late night marriage with the riches. If you could leave anything with anyone, don't just have to be married people. What nugget of wisdom life wisdom, would you each drop for the audience?
You go first.
Me first. I would say, be true to yourself. Before you get married, be true to yourself so you can be true to that person that you're going in with. You never want to go into a marriage with lots of baggage or things. So if you're true to yourself, then you'll know what you need to change or what you can get rid of in order to be with that person. And that's what I would say. Just be true to yourself.
Gotcha. Okay.
Good, thanks.
All right. And I thought about this. I said, I know this question is coming with some things that I could say to close us out. So I got something written down. So number one, forgiving your partner or your spouse will allow is important because it allows you to heal. It's for your healing. If you are forgiven, because our partners are not perfect, they're gonna say something to make you upset or mad, or maybe they did something or didn't do something. You have to be in a state of forgiveness and forgive quickly too, not holding on to things, because it's not only just for them, but it's for you to heal as well. Because if not, then you're holding on to resentment, you're holding on to bitterness, and that can build up and it'll destroy you as a person, and it caused you to be defeated in your marriage when you should be enjoying marriage and having a good time. But because you're holding on to stuff and not forgiving and forgiving quickly, some things you don't. It takes time to heal or what have you, but just those minute things that we allow ourselves to get agitated with. The
Right.
spilled milk stuff. We need to come to grips on having a spirit of forgiveness. And then, secondly, your partner is not responsible for your happiness. You should come to the table whole. You want to come to the table whole, heal, and working on yourself continuously so that you don't depend on that person to make you happy. Because there are times that that person may be going through their own tests and trials or tribulations or setbacks, and you can't, life doesn't stop for you to say, it's your responsibility to make me happy. What that person needs you to be stronger, needs you to
Right.
bring something to the table. So it's important for you to be responsible for your own happiness and, taking care of yourself and having goals of your own and knowing who you are. So make sure that you get your happiness from, number one, for me as a Christian, from God, knowing that He's
Mhm.
your source, so that when you come to the table in your marriage, it's not about that person trying to push you and pull you and trying to pour into you. You should be able to enjoy your happiness together if you both come as two whole individuals and you're able to share your happiness together, making each other better or what have you. And then lastly, a spirit of gratitude. It's very important so that you'll have a greater appreciation for your spouse. That you
Mhm.
focus on those things that they get right. Focus on the things that their strengths. Focus on the things that you love about them, and
Mhm.
not just those small petty things that we can tend to hold on to. But that spirit of gratitude, that I'm thankful that I have a husband. I'm thankful for the sacrifices you have made. I'm thankful for the things that you're getting right. Sometimes it's so easy to point at what's wrong, what's wrong,
Right.
what's wrong, but it's good to have the gratitude to and it just goes back to everything. That's expectation of God is that we have a spirit of gratitude. He's not going to give us more or allow us to grow or to have those things, that those blessings that He wants for us, if we don't show Him. I can be thankful for the small things. I can be thankful
Mhm.
for the little things. Then He knows you are ready for the bigger things. So in your marriage, have a spirit of gratitude towards your spouse so that you can appreciate them, love on them, and have the right attitude towards them. Because if not, you'll fester on the small stuff that doesn't even matter. So that spirit of
So
gratitude is
true.
very important. And that's it. I'm done.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Yes,
That
all of those were good nuggets.
all of them is interesting. You say on that last one, because something was just running across my mind last week, and it is pretty. You nailed it. You explained it way better than it ran across my mind, and it was this: you get what you look for. If you look for faults in your spouse, you'll find them. If you look for good in your spouse, you'll find it. You get
Mhm.
what you look for. So I love that. And that is truly wrapped in gratitude. Yeah, for real. Listen, we
That's
thank you
good.
guys so much for joining us tonight. We know you didn't have to, but you chose to.
Mhm.
And Sean didn't even hesitate. He like, absolutely. We know you guys are there to support, but we got some stuff that we're gonna be doing coming in the new year. We are expanding to rich conversations where we're gonna talk so much more
Mhm.
than just about marriage.
Right.
So definitely look forward to having y'all on some of the episodes around that, because we're gonna dig into some other stuff. I definitely want to talk about just some of the school stuff, some of the career stuff, just a
Mhm.
lot of things, because trying to help people develop in the careers, trying to help people develop into just better overall people.
Right.
And I really want
Living.
to have some in-depth faith discussion, because I remember one time we was talking about something, and then I believe there was somebody, one of the Broxtons, started talking, chirping about scripture in the comments, and we had some. So I'm looking definitely forward to having some rich faith conversations and having you guys there. because we want to make sure that we are helping people be whole.
Mhm.
And so we are expanding to rich conversations,
Yes.
and that is rich faith, rich relationships, rich health, rich living is rich, rich, rich.
Hmm.
So,
And
uh,
still talking about those things that people don't necessarily want to talk about
that
sometimes, or the hard conversations. So still having those tough conversations, and being transparent um,
absolutely
on camera.
all of the
And
And some off,
authenticity.
because we have a community, which I know you're going to get to in just a minute.
Absolutely, yeah. So we definitely we're building out a community that we're going to launch more hardly. It's
Hmm.
an app where we can communicate a lot more. So yeah, we got a lot coming up. Yes, ma'am. So,
yeah, I was gonna add one of those big topics need to be finances.
oh
Yes,
yes,
I was
oh
going to say
yes,
that. Yes,
oh yeah. We're gonna look to talk about budgeting, looking, bringing in some
to money.
finance experts,
Hmm.
and break that stuff down. We all need it. Doing some workshops, so we're going to be a lot more active in a much more global way.
Hmm.
Because this is what I realized, and I say it all the time: you cannot be a better husband, a better wife, a better parent, a better employee, none of that until you're first a better person.
Yeah.
And so, being that better person, I think when people hear me say better person, I'm not saying that you're a degenerate or you have low moral values or whatever. Those things could be true. But maybe you just haven't been taught how to do life right. That's one of the things um, in the book that I'm getting ready to release, Things That We Forgot Along the Way. It's about little life quotes that people said that were simple words to them, but they left a profound impact on me.
Mm.
And there's a lot of little wisdom, and the book cover is a empty toolbox, because I think a lot of us is a tattered old empty toolbox, because it is a an illustration that a lot of us are walking around like that empty, beat up toolbox. We have all of the scars for life, but we've let all of the wisdom through those scars leak out, and we're not pulling on what really should be there. So, yeah, we're looking for it, but finances is definitely one of those type of things. We're going to get a financial planner to get on with us and talk through some of that stuff, but
Hmm.
also some basic budgeting. One of our
Yeah.
financial planners before taught us a simple principle. He called it MUG: mortgage, utilities, and groceries. He said those first three things you need to do with your money: mortgage, utility, groceries.
Hmm.
And then he started talking out from there. So we definitely got to have some people come on and do that. And if
Yeah.
you can think of topics like, hey, we need to cover, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know for
Yeah,
sure.
because these conversations are definitely geared toward personal development. So when we talk about even as being a better person, being a better spouse, and entering in relationships with people, those are the things that help you do it. Developing personally and being better at what it is, being better at life. Period. So a
Yeah.
lot of things that maybe you didn't know, didn't learn, it's not too late to learn them. Let's learn them and be good at them. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
times we came up with bad money habits and so many different things that we wish we would have known or talked about earlier, or sought professional or personal help then.
Yeah.
And so this is the same things, having those conversations and encouraging people, hey, do these things, and this would help that relationship and help that marriage
Yeah.
along the way. You don't have to start out at a deficit.
Yep. I mean, we definitely going to be having some routine workshops
Hmm.
at the office.
Yep.
So it won't just all be virtual.
Right.
We're going to look, I've been looking for a while, a place that has a kitchen that, because Tamika likes to cook, and we found that there are a lot of people like, I would love to learn how to cook some simple meals. We're
Mhm.
trying to touch it all.
Hmm.
So, very ambitious year coming up, and it has been fun doing Late Night Marriage with the Riches, but now it's time to get the rich conversations. All right. So thank you both. We've got to get up, do something together soon.
We do.
Do a little bit of hanging out. Hopefully you get some time off during the holiday and get to relax a little bit, and enjoy the bowl season, all of that. So yeah.
Tell her he could stop right there, right?
No, he gonna enjoy the bowl season. He gonna enjoy the bowl season. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, we're
So
gonna. Matter of fact, I think we're gonna have a special date, and I got some Pop Tarts in mind that
yep.
we're gonna have Pop Tart day.
Where the great thing about Pop Tarts is you can put a toaster next to the couch and cook them. Yeah, the couch that your team will be sitting on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We take care of that, bro. We take
Yeah.
care of that.
She think
Listen, we
oh
love
she
you
We look
guys.
forward to fellowshipping with you guys. We
We
do
definitely
in
look
person.
forward to fellowship with y'all. We love you guys and stay away from the Mary J. Blige concerts, bro. Don't go on no reefs. Don't get me started, Sean. Don't get me started. I let you have a
uh,
little slack this year.
Did he?
I was supposed to ride out on you.
This was slack year.
Yeah, I was not gentle this year. I did gentle parenting. Hey, y'all take care. Thank you for spending time with
Yes,
us on
thank
this
you.
last episode, and we will be in touch.
right.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for it.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good night. All right. Late night marriage is a wrap. We getting ready to bring it to the end. As we get out of here, still keep an eye on the page. Rich Conversations getting ready to pop off in 2025. We're gonna take some downtime from here to a certain time in the new year. Then we're gonna pop back out with Rich Conversations with a full slate of things that we're gonna have going on in the new year. And we're looking forward to doing that with you. Like I said, we're going to do some stuff in person at our office, some workshops. We will still be coming on YouTube. We got to take the channel down a little bit, get it ready for Rich Conversations. And we really are looking forward to, let me say it this way, what God is getting ready to do through us in this upcoming year. So we're excited about it. We're looking forward to it, and we hope that you are too.
Yeah.
So
We're growing,
we're growing.
and it's growth.
Yep.
And I just want to say thank you not only to the Broxtons who were just on, but everybody that took out their time, because your time is valuable and you don't get that back. And I take that very seriously. Who joined us Wednesday after Wednesday for Late Night Marriage, or if you just went back and watched it, if you couldn't join us live at that time, you went back, watched it, you commented. Even if you didn't, if you just listen in, we appreciate you and we thank you. We do not take that lightly.
At all. And we, shout out to the Godwins who have been guests on the show.
Yes.
Shout out to Alexis and Brandon who were guests on the show. Melanie Stuckey, Robbing in. Oh my goodness, was it Erica? Who was a guest holding on the show. Everyone who stopped by and did Late Night Marriage with the Riches. We really appreciate
Even
you.
the ones that popped up that wasn't necessarily guests and just wanted to come on live with us on some nights.
Yeah, they jumped on. We really appreciate you. We don't take it for granted, and because of how the love you've shown us, we feel encouraged to continue to going on. But we want to offer you a little bit more, just a little bit more. So look forward to Rich Conversations in the new year. You already heard the theme song. We already dropped it, but we're looking forward to vibing with you in 2025. Until then, may God continue to bless you, keep you, make his face shine upon you, and we are out.
All right, preacher. Good night. We love you for real.
For real, for real.